All praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to apostle elders in New York, GMS. So I teach you all around the world is teaching the truth. Shalom to you, serious Aqua. My name is Maya Ka'ala, Bun Gad, what Chicago branch of Great Millstone. I'd like to make a disclaimer that we are not black Hebrew Israelites. We are Israelites. The Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled birds scattered abroad. Speckled birds are Israelites who look like other nations, but their father's paternal bloodline go back to the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, so something I want to bring out, I couldn't bring out yesterday, due to forgetting, but right here, this is from Color Q World. All right, so I read you about this, but it's get more details into it, and some more things I want to bring out. Right, it says between 1565 and 1815, when Mexico revolted against Spain, 100 Filipino Marinos jumped ship in Mexico to escape the brutality of Spanish masters. Yeah, because that's you lose some J's as galley slaves. Right. It says some Filipinos selling Acapulco married Mexican women, introduced Filipino practices such as the coconut wine making process of tuba, which became a native drink whose popularity challenged the profits of Spanish import wines. During the Independence War, Lieutenant of Guerrero, the Afro-Mexican leader of the revolution, all right, was General Isidoro Montes de Oca, a Filipino. All right, so Jake from the Philippines, all involved in Mexico histories, man. Say married Issachar, their brethren, all right, and they was in a revolution, all right. So, let me get this right here. I'm gonna come back to this page later because I'm gonna bring some more stuff out. All right, so here you go right here. This is the book, Asian. I think it said Asian, yeah. Asian slaves in colonial Mexico, all right, from Chinos to Indians, right? All right. It's a lot. Hold on, let me get this. Hold on for a minute. Trying to get this set right. Let me see if I can go back and then come back in. All right. All right. So I don't have this book yet, but I'm gonna get it. All right. So try to do the best I can to get this information for you. All right. So here you go right here. It says Indians begin to work. So they also Esau for Spain also called the people of the Philippines Indians. All right. It said Indians to let me see. See, I can blow this up a little bit. All right. It said Indians to work for nominal pay in the Philippines. Both systems allowed for slavery because native elites were responsible for delivering the labors to the Spaniards, such as the Spanish colonists may not have individual on any slaves for about after 1610, but they continued to benefit from slavery because native chiefs used slaves in food production. Let me get this, back this up a little bit if I can see it. All right, let me get back to it. Let me see. All right, it said native chiefs used slaves in food production for their own substance and to pay as tribute. Native chiefs, moreover, were known to use slaves for a labor draft, right? So you have to remember, like I read in the previous videos, that the Negritos and Malay had mixed together, right? So, the wheat and tear. So those sheaves, they most likely could have been enslaving their own people. Then you had the heathens, man. All right. All right. So they mixed it together. All right. So anyways, and that evil eye that goes back, those that was Jake selling their own people, the evil eye goes back to the curses of Deuteronomy 28, and 54. All right. So right here it says Deuteronomy 28. All right. And 54. All right, it says, so that the young man tender among you in very delicate his eyes be evil towards his brother and toward the wife of his bosom, and that toward the remnant of his children where he shall leave. All right. Okay, so his eyes should be evil. So let's go on. He is Jake selling people into slavery. Jake's helping Esau conquering on people. And then right here it says toward the wife's bosom, right? Domestic violence, okay? And toward the remnant of his children, where he shall lead, right? You know, because you always got these Jewish people. They always mock and said, you know, your fathers always lead your household, but that's just a curse that mark us as Israel. You know, it's one of the curse markers that we are the seed of Israel. All right. So you know, this right here again. All right. It says the lawful enslavement of indigenous group Negritos. All right. So we all know what Negritos mean. Okay. Negritos. Let me back this up a little bit. Negrito are referred as Zambelis is exemplifies the leeway to give native chiefs regarding slavery. All right. Let's see. Let's go get what Negritos are. All right. Let's see definition of Negritos. All right. So just bring it out so no scoffers again or what'll run. All right. You know, just as we say, overkill. All right. It says, all right, a member of black people of short stature native to Austrian region. All right. Let's go to the etymology of Negrito. All right. All right. What's Negrito? Let me go to Negroes, see they gonna put it in there. Just, you know. All right. Hey, Alright, so we all know the Negroes here in America, they're not Africans. Alright, so let's see, Professor. What's Negrito at? Negrito, they don't got it in here, huh? Let me make sure. Alright, see, Negrito. No results sound okay, they just don't get it. Alright, so we just go to the definition of Negrito. Alright. So we go to the definition of Negrito. Negrito. Alright, so we'll go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Alright, it says Negrito, member of people such as Adamies. Alright, you know that they're not Jakes anyway. Alright, so it said belonging to a group of dark-skinned people, small stature, living in the Oceania and southeastern parts of Asia. Spanish diminutive of Negro, right? So this means small Negro people, small melanated people, all right? You got also, they're going to see they use the word, all right, well, we'll just get back to it. We'll deal with that word later, all right? All right, so right here it says, come on, man, all right? All right, it says, all right, it says, the Papanganos in Spanish, for example, who live in the fertile province of Papagana, had license to enslave Negritos. All right, according to Capapangan chiefs. Negritos were naked marauders and scalp hunters who swept from the foothills swiftly as a deer and attacked their people when they were in the fields. A way to remedy this situation, protect the food supply. The Kapagans were allowed to go to war against their natural enemies, enslave them, and then put them to work in the rice cultivation. Right, so in this case, these were the heathens, right? All right, and they probably lied on them, man. All right, just like the heathens, man. They always lied on Jake. All right. It says the enslavement of Negritos, moreover, raised important questions about the consummation of slavery in the Philippines. All right. All right, so they probably just lied on Jake to have excuse to enslave Jake, man. All right. It says in the film how it was changed over time. The word Negro in Spanish for black, so the same name again to the enemies of the Compancans referred to their dark skin color. The name also alluded Spanish to characterization of Negritos, which was that they were barbarians because they live as hunting gathering rather than settled towns, right? Because Jake didn't want to be bothered with Esau, all right, which was the Iberian mark of civilization. Right in the 1640s, Alonso de Sandoval gave the following description in his widely read missionary treatise. They are not as dark as those from Guyana, talking about Guyana, Africa. Guinea, Africa. All right, it says, nor as ugly, but small and skinny, with curly hair and beards like the Guineans. They do not have towns or houses except for the hills. Among the nation of Philippines, they are the most barbarous and uncivilized. All right, so they lying on them. All right, it says, based on Negrito's physical appearance, Spaniards associated with people from sub-Saharan Africa, while they seem perceived to be socially inferior. All right, so there you go, man. All right, and that's how Esau looks at our people, man, with that hatred, man. All right, get this. All right, could really hate our people because the blessings. All right. All right. Let's see about this thing. All right, it says Amos chapter 1 verse 13. Thus said Yahweh, for 3 transgression of the children of Ammon. Let me get Salak. Here right here, Amos 1:11. Amos 1:11 said, thus said Yahweh, for 3 transgression of Elam, and for 4 I will not turn away but punish there, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity. His anger did tell Petri, and he kept his wrath forever. All right. That's why Esau mad at us, man, because we had got he's jealous of us because we know we gonna get the blessings, man. Spiritual powers. We gonna get rulership of the worlds. We gonna have the like galaxy universes, man. We gonna have the women. We gonna have the substance of the earth and substance throughout the universe. All right, so that's why he's angry, man, and that's why he kept his wrath forever. That hatred, because Esau want that birthright back and the blessings back, man. All right. Which wasn't his in the beginning. No way. All right. You read that Genesis 24:60. All right. And the sword represents his military, his might, man. All right. All these weapons he got would be psychological warfare. All right. The branches of military, his policemen, his actual swords and guns. Okay. All right. His justice system. All right. So, let me go back here. It says the Negrito will never incorporate into Hispanic society as indigenous values as whereas their neighboring agriculture, because Spaniards saw them as savages. All right. It says civilized Indians therefore had to leave. And it says civilized mean they incorporate to Esau's system. His Edomite inferiority system, but people mistakenly call for white supremacy. Ain't nothing supreme about them, right? It says civilized Indians therefore had to leave to enslave Negrito because they were barbarians in the Aristotelian sense of being lesser men, therefore natural slaves. All right, so they go back to Deuteronomy 28:43 and 44. All right, the heathen should get up high and Jake should come down low. All right, being a low state. All right, it says Spaniards made this characterization of the Negritos from the first years after conquest in a 1570 letter to the Viceroy of New Spain. New Spain is Mexico. Governor Miguel Lopez de Legazpi explained that the native chiefs had black slaves who were war captives, noting that they were used to be less expensive than Indian slaves, meaning slaves from the complex society of Louisiana. All right, you have to remember they had mixed in with Jake, man. All right, so they're probably like a little lighter their hair, probably like a little straighter, right? But they father's bloodline go back to Negritos, all right? You know, it says, according to Legazpi, the native chiefs had recently raised their price because they realized the Spaniards had an affinity for them. You have to remember, the Edomites for Spain, they was ruled by the Moors. The Moors were Israelites for like 800 years, man. All right, so they was pissed off about that, and they wanted payback. All right, all right. So it says and will pay more money for the blacks than the Indians. All right. So they will pay more money for the just use this term for the pure blood Negritos than the ones who probably they didn't uh, display that pure Negrito phenotype due to intermixture with the heathens in that area. All right. So anyway, it says let me get back here. All right, it says moreover added they had given license to individual Spaniards to take a great number of Negritos. I'm gonna read it right here. Let me blow it up. All right. Let me see. All right, so I'm gonna blow it up. It says moreover added that he had given license to individual Spaniards to take a great number of Negritos to Mexico as slaves. All right, so we go to Negritos. All right, you know. All right. All right, so right here it says Negrito. All right, it said member of people says it appears to belong to a group of dark-skinned people, small stature, but we know this situation is from the Philippines, so it just means basically Spanish diminutive of Negroes. All right, so I'm just doing this so scoffers they always say I'm not doing for them just so they can't basically shut these scoffers up, man. All right, so we know these slaves that was coming from the Philippines, they was a dark skinned people, man. All right, you had the ones that was Negritos, they was pure dark skinned. They had the other ones, they were descendants of the Negritos over there. All right, those were Israelites, but they had mixed in with the Malayan people. All right, and they probably had um, just like just most likely they had less Negrito features, but they were still Jake, man. All right. So it's just like in Americas, man. You probably you had a Judite man, he'll pop and they did it. Esau did to two time losing Edomite women and made them with Jake men, right? So that child come out. It's still the Israelite. It's a mulatto cut. The child might come out lighter than that child mix with another um, Edomite woman, all right? Then that child, generation, the child, he loses the original phenotypes, but still the Israelite, all right? So same situation in here, this situation, all right? It says, all right, so right here it says, take a great number of Negritos to Mexico as slaves who they could live with Christians. All right, there go that plantation Christianity. The implication was that Negritos would have a better life in slavery. They say the same thing about Jacob in West Africa. All right, it said because they were taken out their barbarity and brought into Christian fold. All right, a slave man, slave system, man, the matrix. All right. So that's what Esau say. Oh, Esau say to the southern kingdom, so-called Negroes, Judah, West Indians, so-called West Indians, Benjamin, and so-called Haitians, Levy. Oh, you guys, you living savages. You was swinging from trees in Africa. You was naked. It was better for you guys to come over here. And you got some own people, man. The 2/3, they'll say Esau saved them, man. It saved them from living like savages in Africa, man. But they ignorant, man. All right. It says, notably, the link between barbaria and slavery was the same in other frontier regions of the Spanish Empire. Commented on the Negritos of the Philippines, Governor Francisco de Sunday wrote, they are like the Chimecas of New Spain, very savage and cruel. Right? The Chimecas are, let's see, Chincamecas, all right, that's Issachar, all right, of New Spain, which is Mexico, were very savage, cruel. The Chincamecas were nomadic indigenous group from northern frontier who were similarly exempted from the protections given to other Indians. For the Spanish, groups like the Negritos and Chincamecas were not true Indians, but enemies who carry out guerrilla warfare on colonists and missionaries. All right, so Esau was angry because Issachar, the Chimecas, were fighting against them, man. All right, they weren't taking no shit. Slock. Excuse my French, all right? It says right here, native elites who own foreign slaves who they purchased from the Portuguese as the Spaniards did. The experience of a slave named Jacinto, originally from Malabar Coast, Israel, how this market worked. In September 1616, Jacinto declared before the judges of Audiencia of Manila that he had been captured by a Portuguese man named unknown in the war a few months earlier. The Portuguese took Jacinto in the Sea of Cocan in Portuguese India, where the victor generally testified that Jacinto was a captive from a just war. Right, so we had Jake's. Let's see, Malabar Coast. All right, so let's look that up. All right, so most likely that might be Malabar. Let's see what that's at. All right, just show you, man. They weren't just snatching Jake from as again, Jake catching Jake all over the place. Yeah, remember the 12 tribes of Israel scattered all over the place, man. All right, see Malabar. Let's see Malabar. Where that's at. You know, talking about here, Malabar Coast. All right. Yeah. So that's southern India, man. All right. So some of my people over there. All right. I just want to, but I'll touch on that in another video. All right. About Jakes, the other Jakes, man. All right. So just prove you, man, that those slaves that came from the Philippines, those dark-skinned men, or descendants of Negrito men, you know, Israelites, man. All right. right? The people they was, so I'm gonna go back here. Let me read this. Go back to the similarities between Filipino and so-called Filipino, so-called Mexican culture. All right. So right here, go to it says the let me see. Go right here. All right. It says because both share a Spanish colonial past. All right. This from the website remenscula.com. All right. Because both share a Spanish colonial past, they often had similar cultural practices. All right. Oh, another thing Esau would do, he would take Judah and Mexico and he would send them over to the over there to the Philippines for slavery. All right. So you got Judah, you got Issachar, then you got the Israelites, the Negritos. All right, over there enslaved each other, man. To go with Jeremiah 50 and 33. All right. It says, in looking at the background of both Mexican and Filipinos, it made sense that the Filipino Mexico found commonalities and intermarried. Given their share of Spanish colonial past, both groups share a similar culture, Catholic religion, to some degree, language. All right, so they brainwashed that plantation Christianity, Catholic religion. All right, it said Mexican and Filipinos had first contact with each other during the Acapulco Mananguilla trade that flourished between 1565 and 1815. The indigenous and mixed race Filipinos were oftentimes the crew members of these galleons and laboring as slaves, servants, and sailors. Right? Because go with Deuteronomy 28, man. All right. It says, "What you going to go to?" Let me get this right here. All right. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna get this right. All right. 28. All right. So it says right here. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. All right, so as you go into captivity again in ships. All right, because the whole nation of Israel was in the physical Africa, actually in the physical Egypt. All right, all 12 tribes. All right, was in captivity, man. Then Moses, Most High, Yahweh sent Moses and Aaron to get us, deliver us, man. All right. And Egypt means bondage. Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 6. All right. And it's also talking about spiritual America. All right. You know. Right here. So okay. So it says indigenous and mixed race Filipinos, oftentimes the crew members on the gang was laboring as slave servants. All right. Slaves and servants and slave, but keyword slaves. It says upon reaching the shores of Acapulco, many Filipinos jumped ship and blended with the local population, marrying indigenous and mixed-race Mexican women. Descendants of Filipino-Mexican relations still reside in Mexico. This come together and cultural exchange of goods, language, and interrelationships had a lasting impact. Histories on both Mexican and Filipinos continue this day. All right, it says, all right, here it says the Manila Acapulco Gallery Memorial at the Plaza Mexico in Intramuros, Manila. All right, so this is the Philippines. All right, so we got a memorial. All right, that slave trade. All right, it says this was the historical underpinning of what Mexican Filipinos came to share in the 20th century, placed us at San Diego because both share a Spanish colonial past. They often had similar cultural practices. Filipinos, de Bontes, are similar to Mexican quinceañeras, a coming-of-age party for young women and Filipino and Mexican women. Both celebrate religious and community fiestas, have strong ties to family, both immediate and extended. They also share in practice of compadresco or god parenthood, like your godfather. This experience reinforced familiar and kinship ties to Filipinos and Mexican intermarry and baptize each other children. Right, they Israelites. Right. It said it is experience such as these provide the intimate connection between both communities and understanding that gave rise to several generations of Mexicanos in San Diego, my family included. And today, with a greater influx of Filipino women to the U.S., both groups continue to intermarry. Not only did Filipino men continue to marry Mexican Chicano women, but Mexican Chicano men also marry Filipino women. These bonds, though not always conscious, continue to have a lasting impact on both communities. All right, so there you go, man. All right, let me see. Let me see. Brave. I'm trying to go. What is it? All right. There was something else. There was another site I want to go to. All right. Oh shoot. Maybe that's it. Okay. So let's see similarities between. Um, so let's see. All right, so this proved that slave trade happened, man. All right, this is no fluke or anything somebody made up. All right, the indigenous people of Mexico, the indigenous people of the Philippines are Israelites that the Bible speaks of. All right, so let me click right here. Click right here on Quora. All right. What similarities are you found between Filipino and Mexican cultures? All right, let's see. All right, they're both into adultery. Deuteronomy 28:64. Let's see. Both had similar toy. Mexican used trompettes, which is spinning top. All right. Both have similar food. These are similar, right? So there's the toys, the spin toys. All right. It said both have similar food. That's similar to Mexican, Filipino. These are Filipinos, tacos. These are Mexican tacos. All right. So they look similar. All right. No unleavened bread. These are Mexican tamales. This is Filipino tamale. All right, we proved that the so-called Mexicans went over to the Philippines as slaves, as laborers, and as sailors. All right, you read as slaves. This is Mexican flan. This is Filipino flan. This is Mexican sweetbread. All right. All right. So right here. All right. So they got this the similar thing. Sweetbread. You got the different breads. All right. So this showing you the similarities, man. All right. What else do I want to bring out? All right. So let me see. Let me go plug up my phone. Power running out. Just bear with me, Akia. All right. All right, so now we got power. All right, so go back to something I want to bring out and go to Chrome. Okay, yeah. All right, so I want to go back to that. All right, because we got people. So this I want to bring out. Is that over there? All right. It says right here, Hosea chapter 7, verse 8, Ephraim had mixed itself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not unturned, all right? Okay. All right. So it's talking about Ephraim mixed itself among the heathens. All right. Also, cake not gonna turn. All right. Take cake not turn. All right. So that's talking about they some that look different, man. Talking about the different um um where Ephraim mixed up on the people, right? So he started mixing up on these they began the prophecy of Ephraim on the northern kingdom. In this case, Issachar misses out among the other nations, also among the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, and also taking on is it, they start taking on they cultural practices, the other heathen nations. All right, okay, all right, and cake on turn, I mean, what come from take a cake. All right, I'll show it again. All right, say that I did yesterday. All right. Let me see. Come on. All right, you can see this picture right here. Click on it. All right, cake not gonna turn. You can see one cake still in the pan. Is on the right. All right, you can see the top of that cake is light, and then you see another cake, a similar cake. It's poured out. It's been dumped out of the pan. You see the bottom is dark. All right, so we come different light to dark skin. All right, so all right, so then the cake gonna turn. All right, there are different features, man. All right. Let's see. Okay, so that's what it meant. All right. So let me get back here. All right, so it mixed in with these heathens. I came over here. All right, so right here it says right here it said various groups of Asians such as Filipinos, Chinese. Well, y'all know the Filipinos is always the Chinese and Syrians were said to have visited Americas during the pre-Columbia area. All right. Anyway, these Chinese, and since it's pre-Columbian era, those were Jakes, man. The Chang Empire and stuff, right? But anyway, go down here. It says Japanese migration Latin America. It says in the 19th century, Japanese disarmament began to migrate to Latin America in significant numbers. Brazil was the highest number of ethnic Japanese outside Japan and Hawaii. All right, so going down with Asher, it said today there are more 1 million ethnic Japanese live in Brazil. Japanese communities can be found in Colombia, Argentina. Also, Colombia's Asher, Argentina. That's Natalie, Peru. That's Asher. Other parts of Latin America, contrary to the common stereotype that our marriage is limited to Japanese women, immigrant Japanese men also married Latin American women. Right, so they married some those Jakes. All right. It says some of their descendants had journeyed back to Japan and searched the Japanese roots. The Yamasa into Japan featured the bios of two foreign students who are descendants of Japanese men and non-Japanese Latin American women. So these are Ammonites, man. All right. Like I said, the terrors and wheats, man. All right. It said Chinese descendants in Latin America began with the coolie trade of the late 19th century. Large number of young male Chinese came to Latin America. The mixed offspring of Chinese men and local women called themselves Tucson, derived from the Chinese term Tushing, meaning local born. Most retained their Chinese surnames, even though they do not speak the Chinese language. In Mexico, Mexican women who married Chinese men were often counted in census as Chinese. Famous mixed Chinese Mexican include Mexican pop star Ana Gabriel, who discussed her Chinese ancestry in an interview with Asian New Yorker. It said right here, it has been estimated that 50% of Peruvians have Chinese ancestry. Pedro Zuniga, a key Peruvian intellectual noted for his poetry and his social critique, was of mixed Chinese Peruvian descent. The late Zulana is honored in both Peruvian and Chinese circles. All right, so there you go. Right here is I'll go right here. It says the Coronels of Yucatan, Mexico, in 1905. It says right here, 1,030 Korean Christians came to Yucatan to work as coolies. They intermarried with the Mayan natives and gave birth to the Coronel community of Yucatan. All right, so there you go, man. All right, so evil shall mix itself among the people. Okay, so they mixed up with the Moabites, and Zebulon mixed with the Moabites in Yucatan, man. All right, it says right here, Mexicans and Asian intermarriage late 19th, late 19th, early 20th century United States. Starting in the late 19th century, people of Chinese Mexican descent were very common in Texas, especially in El Paso and San Antonio. Chinese men from Mexico colony immigrated to the United States through El Paso prior to 1965. A librarian in El Paso Community College system has said she knows of probably 100 Chinese American descents. It says during the early part of the 20th century, marriage between Asian immigrants who came to California from Punjab region, India, and local Mexican women were regular occurrence. Although Mexican women who marry Indians face discrimination, the Punjabi and Mexican community built on communities between two cultures and created their unique cuisine culture. The Mexican Punjabi offspring shared their family history in the PBS documentary Roots and Sun, a multi-generational portrait of pioneer Punjabi Mexican families who settled a century ago in Southern California Imperial Valley. Valley. All right. So there you go, man. All right. So you had all these different nations, man. They extend with the Northern Kingdom, and people like you got scoffers on the Southern Kingdom. Why they look different, man? Because than us. Why we missed in us? The prophecy of the Northern Kingdom been prophesied to mixed in among these other nations. All right, Judah mixed in with some of the nations, but not they won't prophesy to mix to the stream as the Northern Kingdom was. All right, in Hosea chapter 7 verse 8. Okay. All right. Let me see what else I had. I think I want to go back to something. All right. Yeah. It says West Asian immigrants in Latin America. It said Jews and Arabs from Asian countries such as Syria, Palestine, Turkey, and Lebanon came to Latin America during the early half of the 20th century. Some intermarried with local women. A celebrity who hails from this mingled heritage is successful Hollywood actress Salma Hayek, who was born to a Lebanese father and a Mexican mother. Now, I'm going to tell you, a lot of Lebanese, their fathers, a good number of their fathers' paternal bloodline go back to the Canaanites. All right. They've been Arabized. They've been converted to Islam. All right. You probably had Ishmael everywhere. So some of the bloodline go back to Ishmael. But some those are some of them are Canaanites, man. Good number of them. All right.
and you could see it like because they was already dark skinned. You could see it like they kids. You look at some of them, they kids. It could be the father could be like a mulatto, like a mulatto. I'm just saying like a mulatto. I got like his color like a mulatto light color. The same the one, but the one kid come out streaming dark, and the other kid come out light skinned. Right, right. So let me see. All right, so you got what Sephardic Jews from Palestine and Turkey migrate to Paraguay on the eve of World War One. Intermarriage significant among Paraguay Jews, but most intermarried couples gave their children a Jewish education. They said Argentina and Uruguay became a home to Jews from Syria, Turkey, other parts of the Middle East. Right, so he's I already know the Jews from Syria, they Jakes, you know. All right, it says the Jewish population in the country is well integrated. Assimilation increased Brazil. Experienced search of immigration during World War II. Jews from Syria, Lebanon, and Turkey came to Brazil. I got to get information from Jake. And Turkey determined were these were Jakes that stayed in Turkey, or were these were um, the Khazars that migrated to Turkey, right? All right, but anyway, it said Jews from Syria, Lebanon, Turkey came to Brazil due to low incidence of anti-Semitism in Brazil. Assimilation on the rise in Mexico, despite martial custom of Jewish marriages. Some children born to Jewish men from Asia and local Mexican women were raised as Jewish and often married back into the Jewish community. Right, Jake from Asia, they go by they don't go by maternal, right? So they messed up in that, right? They go by uh, patrilineal, all right? They don't go maternal, man. I don't know where they get that from. All right, so just show you, man, that the prophecy of Hosea 78 is talking about the Nordic and indigenous people in the Americas. All right, it fits them. All right, so I hope you've been edified and shalom.